And I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power! Fight the power!
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
Can you imagine for just a moment that before you were born, your soul stood at the edge of eternity and chose your family? Not by accident, not by some cosmic mistake, but with intention, with purpose, with a level of divine precision that only a soul on a mission could have. And yet, here you are, questioning why. Why would you be placed in a family that feels like walking through fire? Why would your first experience of love be laced with pain? I've asked those questions too. And here's what I've learned. Being born into a toxic family is not a punishment. It's not a curse. And it's not a random stroke of bad luck. It's a sacred calling, one that only the strongest souls accept. But I know, it doesn't feel like that. Not yet. So let's go deeper together. Let's uncover why your soul chose this path and how it's shaping you into the person you were always meant to be. The furnace of the soul. Toxic families are like fire. They burn, they consume, and they leave behind scars that never fully fade. But do you know what else fire does? It purifies. It melts away the superficial and reveals what's real. That's what your family did. Whether they meant to or not, they handed you a torch and said, "Here, walk through this fire and let it make you unbreakable." You see, chosen ones are not here to live easy, ordinary lives. You're here to break cycles, to transform pain into power, to take the suffering of generations and end it with you. And that is not for the faint of heart. You were born into patterns, to shatter them. Your family's toxicity is not random. It's ancestral. It's generational. It's a chain of pain passed down like an unwanted inheritance. And you were born to be the last link in that chain. Think about that. Your soul didn't come here to repeat the same patterns. You came to transmute them, to alchemize the pain into wisdom. But here's the hard truth. You cannot break a pattern you have not lived through. You can't rise above something you refuse to face. And so, you were placed right in the center of the storm, not to be destroyed by it, but to learn how to calm it, to become the eye in the hurricane, the mirror of their pain. Let me ask you something. When you look at your family, what do you see? Anger, manipulation, control, neglect. And now, the deeper question. Where do you see that same energy in yourself? Because here's the raw, uncomfortable truth. Toxic families are mirrors. They reflect back to you the very wounds you came here to heal. If you grew up with emotional neglect, you may struggle to validate your own feelings. If you were raised in chaos, you may seek control over everything. If you were taught love was conditional, you may believe you have to earn your worth. But do you see the hidden gift? Your family's dysfunction reveals your areas of healing. It gives you a map to your own freedom, the brutal beauty of healing. Now, let's be clear. This path is not easy. Healing from a toxic family is one of the hardest roads a soul can walk. It will ask everything of you. Your strength, your patience, your forgiveness. It will ask you to feel the wounds you were never allowed to feel, to give yourself the love your family could not, and to...
Listen, hey, this how you start a Monday off? Y'all thought because I had a weekend that I wouldn't come back and choose violence? Hey, this work is never going to end. I gotta keep doing it. That clip is so profound. I am chomping at the bit to dissect some of the pieces that were said. But before I do that, I'm going to tell you right now, get to your phone lines right now, 1-800-920-1580, 1-800-920-1580. I am giving away some tickets. How many tickets? 2 tickets? Just a pair for the night. I'm giving away a pair of tickets for the Queens. 4 legends, 1 stage. Shaka Khan. I'm giving Shaka Khan, Patti LaBelle, Gladys Knight, and Stephanie Mills. Sunday, May 11th for Mother's Day. If y'all don't call in right now to get this pair of tickets, man, hey, I'm giving away a pair of tickets right now. If you're in the LA area, you already know what it is. This is for LA. Get at your brother right now. 1-800-920-1580. The 4 Queens, 4 legends, 1 stage. Shaka Khan, Patti LaBelle, Gladys Knight, and Stephanie Mills. Okay, Sunday, May 11th, Mother's Day, at the Forum, at the Kia Forum. You know, it goes through so many names. If you from LA, you just call it the Forum. But now it's the Kia Forum, right next door to SoFi Stadium. Hey, man, y'all better call me if you want these tickets, 1-800-920-1580. These tickets are on me. Zoe Williams handing out tickets, man. Whoever that first person is, I'm going to let them know. But let me get back to tonight's topic. The flames are real. The flames are real. You chose your family. You chose your spiritual curriculum so you could learn to overcome something that needed to be dealt with. The brother said, we hand the baton of fire to you to run the race. Now, you have free will, so you can run in the other direction. You can ignore the work that you were born to, listen to what I'm going to say, born to transcend, born to transmute, or, like I said, you can run away. I and the Father are one. How to become one's own parent or choose to remain an eternal, petulant child. 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. It's about to get hot in here. True or false? It is my responsibility to finish, i.e., reparent myself because of my parents' incompleted and or abandoned work on me. True or false? It is not my significant other's responsibility to reparent me. 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. The reparenting scam seduces the wounded with promises of unconditional adulthood. A Ponzi scheme peddling emotional autocracy. All right? Autarky, excuse me. Under capitalism's leering gaze, your inner child becomes a product to optimize. A self-help prison where the truly free have no need to heal. True individuation demands that we abolish the very categories of child and parent. For these are the master's tools, not the master's undoing. To become one's own progenitor means confronting the quantum madness at the heart of selfhood. The self as a hall of mirrors, right? An Ouroboros of trauma and transcendence. There is no ladder to ascend, only the courage to smash every pedestal on which you've been made to perform your own immolation. What is immolation? Set yourself on fire. The path to rebirth lies through destruction, not completion. See, I'm trying to put something on you today. And I've been telling people about this for a long time. Reparenting, right? Reparenting is really just breaking up with the ideas and concepts and beliefs that your parents poured into you that actually formulated your sense of self. And if you're getting this from toxic people, imagine how warped your sense of self might be. Do you see? We are here on planet Earth to reconcile, right? The broken origin we all come from. I don't believe in the concept of chosen ones. I don't. We're all chosen ones, or we all have the potential to be. But because we have free will, many of us run away from the work. There's no spiritual hierarchy. The higher you go in spirituality, meaning the more consciousness, the more conscious you become, the less there is a need for I'm better than, I'm smarter than. The less there is a need for evaluation, for grading, for degree. Do you understand? Spirit doesn't work in a linear fashion. You become a chosen one when you decide to confront what is only yours to confront. That's a chosen one. Epigenetic matricide, annihilating inherited maternal trauma through alchemical shadow and transgressive rebirth. What does it mean? Studies on transgenerational methylation patterns in maternal trauma transmission, Jungian shadow integration as neuroplastic disruption of toxic archetypes. How do you focus on turning a relationship into a soft space when you haven't reconciled the toxic archetypes in your bloodline? Relationships will serve as landmines for the generational bloodlines of work that has been ignored throughout the generations. The relationship with itself is designed to detonate those landmines with each new connection. See, we want the relationship. We want intimacy, right? But we punk our partners with passion. We punk our partners with pretense, right? We punk our partners with performance. Do you see? I know you don't want to hear it put this way, but I got to do it. We act right so we can get what our wounds crave. Do you see? Jungian shadow integration as neuroplastic disruption of toxic archetypes. What is neuroplastic? The neuroplasticity of neurons in the brain. You were born into a pattern, and that pattern was disjointed, fragmented, broken, unhealed. Most of us. I'm tired of people acting like they had a perfect childhood. No, you had a childhood full of secrets. Just because it was discreet don't mean it was healed. Ooh. Who am I talking to? 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. I want to talk to y'all. I want to talk to y'all. Your philosophical angle here, Batali's limit experience as ritualized destruction of internalized mother complexes. Alchemical, right? Nigrido phase as conscious descent into Oedipal darkness. Patriarchal divination, weaponizing daddy issues to hack power structures through ancestral hauntology. fMRI scans, they show linking insecure attachment styles to heighten pattern recognition. Oh, it looks like he's finna leave. Oh, it looks like he's lying. Oh, do you see hyper focused and hyper heightened attention on these patterns? Because somebody's going to leave me. Somebody's going to deceive me. Somebody's going to hurt me. Relationships become universities when you consistently struggle to confront yourself. How do you become the parent to yourself that your parent never was to you? When we come forward, the voice of reason gonna keep this fire lit.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. If you missed our KBLA Talk 1580 Town Hall, the Altadena Eden Fire, 100 Days and Counting, you missed an evening of reverence, reflection, and reality.
You gotta live in the reality because this is it. Every day, you wake up, is this my life? Don't stay in denial because yes, it is. Don't stay in bargaining where you're praying for a miracle and if it wouldn't have happened, then this is what I would have done. It did.
Our panel participants kept it real. Really real.
I think, number one, it's amazing to me how we ignore systemic racism in our community, and as a people, we've apologized for so much, but when will we stop apologizing for what we have paid for? Because the truth of the matter is we paid for this.
You can always count on KBLA Talk 1580 to give it to you straight, no chaser. When you love folk, you tell them the truth. Seeking the truth, speaking the truth. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The Comedy Connection series featuring KBLA's Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, and the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady. We're going to transform relationship disasters into stand-up material live at Inglewood's Miracle Theater on May 31st at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. My clinical team will disclose all of your dating woes, while the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady, has hand-selected supremely talented comedians to roast all of our tragic relationship choices. I dare you to bring your ex's phone number, because Ray, he's going to text it live, and the crowd will be sourcing emojis. Tickets are moving swiftly, so don't hesitate to grab yours at themiracleinglewood.com before I diagnose your dating history as a pre-existing condition.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
If you like that, you're gonna love this. Clap your hands to the beat. Come on, clap your hands to the beat. Come on, clap your hands to the beat. Come on, clap your hands to the beat. Everybody now, clap your hands to the beat. Come on, clap your hands to the beat. Everybody now, clap your hands to the beat. Come on, yeah. Everybody, you pronounce the name. Any questions? I bring many blessings with my girl Erica. Yo, sky crack, fit a fly track, put your hands up. Put your fists in the air. Keep a man like natural mystic, a smoke when the split split is a revolutionary. They ask me what I'm writing for, I'm writing to show you what we're fighting for. Take your leave or tell it. If it's hard, try spelling it phonetically. It's not the judge. Let it be like Nina Simone. Rest in peace. Don't listen. Even when we suffer losses, I count the victory. Far between. Sad to say, got my brain crowded like sunset on a Saturday. From a web, cause it's dead away. Stop crying, be strong for your mama, is what I had to say. To my little man in the lobby. Start the party, my crew hot, pretty two shot, like the blast from a double barrel. It's got to be the man hot tech.
Is it possible to reparent yourself because you're actually not a parent? I think it's a fascinating question. And allows me to talk about an element of my treatment program. If we understand SLDD is caused by attachment trauma. That is neglect, abandonment, deprivation, and or abuse at the hands of a pathological narcissist parent and SLDD parent, codependent. And that is tremendous trauma that is so painful. As we said, it's cordoned off and placed in the darkest resources of our brain where we can't remember. But essentially, all children who have attachment trauma did not receive the parenting that is essential for all humans. And by the way, for primates and higher level mammals, that they need love, respect and caring, nurturing, warmth, holding, touch, play, smiling, all this stuff that no parent is perfect at, but if you're well-meaning and normally imperfect, the child grows up getting, and I wrote about this in my book, I call it vitamin L, vitamin love.
Vitamin L. Man, that's heavy, Dr. Ross Rosenberg. Keep cooking. Huh. The act of reparenting oneself, that hallowed process of nurturing one's wounded inner child, has metastasized into a cultural dogma. We chant mantras of self-compassion while quietly replicating the power dynamics we claim to escape. To ask, must I finish my parents' abandoned work? Risks blasphemy against the gospel of radical self-reliance. Yet beneath this question pulses a darker truth. The reparenting movement often smuggles in the very hierarchies it seeks to dismantle, reframing liberation as a capitalist hustle cloaked in therapeutic jargon. The eternal child is revolutionary. Society pathologizes the eternal child, not because they fail to individuate, according to Jung, that's his piece, individuation, but because they reject capitalism's demand for hyperproductive adulthood. Consider Van Gogh, whose quote-unquote failure to self-parent birthed transcendent art. Jungian analyst Marion Woodman argued that Western culture murders the divine child through premature adaptation to toxic norms. The child is to be untouched. Even Jesus himself said, "Be ye as children." Do you understand? The child is pure. But here's the paradox. When the child has modeled broken adult leadership, which is the case for most of us, it harkens back to my initial clip, which talks about you choosing these experiences so that you may learn to overcome them through the development of internal resilience. Where does internal resilience come from? The excavation of self-awareness, self-knowledge, right? Self-knowledge leads to self-acceptance. Self-acceptance leads to self-empathy. Self-empathy leads to self-love. Do you see? But many of us were not taught this. Do you understand? We were not taught this. We were taught that someone is going to come along and make it all better. We were taught, in a way, conditioned to be codependent, to look for love elsewhere. And all the while, carrying this concept, this ideation quietly. Something's wrong with me. I'm broken. Why didn't that one respond to me? How come they left me? Right? It's a pattern repeating. The inconsistency of this relationship feels like the inconsistency of the first one I became cognizant of. When we come forward, the voice of reason, go onto the phone lines. Let's talk.
Saturday, I know my son wept cause his dad's away. Stop crying, be strong for your mama is what I had to say to my little man named Imani. Start the party, my crew hot, feel these two shots like the blast from a double barrel shotty. It's got to be your man high tech, the quality who make you rock the body. Start the party, my crew hot, feel these two shots like the blast from a double barrel shotty.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Black New York Attorney General Letitia James is suing to stop the Trump administration from dismantling the Health and Human Services Department.
And since taking office, this administration has fired scientists, closed labs, shuttered life-saving programs without rhyme, reason, or any legal authority.
Joined by 19 other attorneys general, she called the mass firings illegal and harmful to vulnerable groups. Rapper Jeezy could face jail time for not following his divorce agreement with Jeannie Mai. A judge says he did not turn over a 2021 Range Rover and warned that further noncompliance may result in incarceration. And a white New York correctional officer has pleaded guilty to felony manslaughter in the death of Robert Brooks, a 43-year-old black inmate. Christopher Walrath is set to get 15 years for the brutal 2023 beating at Marcy Correctional. He's one of 6 officers charged. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Attention parents! California Baptist University offers a pre-college credit program. That's right, high school students can get pre-college credit at CBU. Start the new year right with a free online course. Classes start January 6th. Apply for free at calbaptist.edu/PCC.
Yeah, y'all, come on. Here come the drums.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey!
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power!
Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash.
It's me, Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash. I see those dry elbows, baby. But don't worry, get moisturized right in the shower. So hydrated you can skip the lotion after.
Don't wanna see it dry no more. Skin so moisturized with body wash.
Look at you now, no more dry skin. Your skin gets the moisture it craves with
Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash.
Johns Hopkins University has found that just mild hearing loss doubles your risk of dementia, so hearing loss isn't something to ignore.
But hearing aids are so expensive and ugly.
Not anymore. Meet Audion Hearing. You can get nearly invisible hearing aids without a prescription starting at $98 a pair, and they're ready to use right out of the box. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, and with over 1 million customers, Audion is easy to trust. Visit audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. The Live Your Life organization mentors young women, helping them break negative mindsets and see beyond their surroundings. Through career exposure and hands-on training, they're encouraged to think big, stay focused, and make positive choices. Founded by Nikisha, Mama Boo Smith, who transformed her life to become a community leader. Live Your Life is changing lives, but they need your help. They're raising funds to keep their new building open and expand their programs. Your donations will support food, clothes, hygiene products, and holiday giveaways. Visit liveyourlife32.com. That's LIVEYOLIFE32.com to help today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from Nitsa and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
But we need to encourage, oh, you're good at that. Thank you for doing that. That helps build connection. And then repair, repair, repair. Relationships need a lot of work. We hurt each other. We misunderstand each other. We damage the relationship. And so we constantly have to find ways to repair the damage that is done, so there's nothing between us, nothing that has severed the connection that we have felt. So bottom line is, relationships, maintaining connection takes a lot of work. And that's why you can't have that deeper connection with a whole lot of people, because you just don't have the time or the energy. It can only happen with a small number of people in order to do that. So I hope that helps you. I want to end by just talking about practical ways of connecting with self, because that's where we have to start the healing in reparenting ourselves. We have to connect with the wounded part of us and help it heal. So you have to, number one, have an attitude toward yourself of self-compassion. Being hard on yourself, beating yourself up, down on yourself, punishing yourself, that hinders connecting to yourself. Self-compassion becomes the cornerstone of that. Then become mindful of yourself. So stop in your day, and many do this via journaling, and go, how am I doing intellectually? Am I worrying? Am I obsessing? Am I believing old lies? What tapes are playing in my head? How am I doing emotionally? What emotions are happening? Okay? Why am I feeling that emotion? What's the hurt under that emotion? And so you begin to become mindful, more self-aware, more understanding of who you are. And then become aware of when you tend to disconnect from yourself. What kind of events, what kind of things in your life result in you starting to disconnect from your emotions? Most people need a daily routine that helps them connect. They just don't do it very well spontaneously. They got to schedule time.
Do you see what we've done? Come on, that's Tim right there. Let me just, Tim Fletcher is on complete fire. And I want to shout out our winner. Her name is Terry Taylor. Terry Taylor, I hope you enjoy those tickets to see the Four Queens. All right? Mother's Day, May 11th at the Kia Forum. We appreciate you for tapping in. Straight from KBLA. You already know what it is. Let me get back to Tim Fletcher. He cooking. Don't you think there's an over-reliance on our significant others to show up in ways that our parents didn't? To show up in ways that we don't for ourselves? Did you hear the formula Tim Fletcher just laid out when he started going into the self-awareness work, self-compassion? I just ran through the whole litany of those things before I even got to that clip. And I don't listen to the clips ahead of time. I hear them when you hear them. So he just gave you the whole blueprint for how you rewrite the narrative that was poured into you from broken people. I don't care what you say. I don't care how good your childhood was. Everybody has some issues. You could have two securely attached parents, and they still have issues internally. Okay? See, we're quick. We love to evaluate and judge and place in a category in this community, in this society. Right? Oh, I'm secure, so that means I'm better. We always do that. And securely attached people can be pulled anxious, preoccupied. They can be pulled dismissive. They can be pulled fearful, avoidant. It's fluid. Everybody goes through things. And yes, securely attached parents raise more balanced children, but that don't mean those children can't go out into the world and get pulled, anxious, or avoidant, or a combination of both. Okay? This is not a place. The spirituality is not a place for hierarchy. We do that to ourselves all the time. Create a hierarchy. Better than, not as good as. What I'm saying is, you have work to do that has nothing to do with your significant other. And if you want to improve the relationship, we have to stop leaning so much on our partner to steward us in our internal work. Our work is ours. It's not theirs. They can't pick up where your papa left off. They can't pick up where your mother left off. They can't. It's not their responsibility because they have their own work internally to face. Do you understand? The inner child industry thrives on a dangerous tautology. To heal childhood wounds, one must regress to the state that made one vulnerable to wounding. Therapists prescribing stuffed animals, Fleming, and mantras risk infantilizing survivors in ways mirroring their original disempowerment. All right? This is real. Epigenetics reveal trauma lives in our DNA. Bill Lipton. Yet reparenting's answer, self-administered cognitive behavioral therapy, often resembles non-liberal or neoliberal self-optimization. When AI companions, Replica, offer better reparenting by avoiding human transference, Freud, we must ask, does healing require deleting our humanity? See, let me explain. What you went through in childhood is necessary. That is the crucible. That is the fire you must walk through. Nobody wants to walk through the fire. They want to be carried through the fire by a significant other. And that is deemed as the one. Prince Charming, Princess Charming, they don't exist. Who's going to carry them through the fire? You haven't built up enough resilience to face yourself. Heavy stuff tonight. Listen, when I come forward, I'm going to get my callers on the line, and we're going to break this down. My brother, John, Mountain View, Hawaii, is up next.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
During this time, it's important for everyone to know your rights. The 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments in the U.S. Constitution protects every one of us, regardless of immigration status. The 4th Amendment requires a judicial warrant to search your home. The 5th protects your right to remain silent, and the 6th gives you the right to an attorney. Just remember,
No warrant, no key. Privacy. You don't have to speak. No lawyer inside. Don't say a thing. Yeah, we all got rights.
Hey, we all got rights. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cow Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project. Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail, and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail, because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
So at deepest, at the heart of the mythic reality of the archetype of the king is a longing to move toward a just order. In many traditions, the royal throne is directly connected with an eternal sense of the law, the right order. In Egypt, it was Ma'at. In Hebrew tradition, it was Torah. And in Chinese traditions, it would be seen as the Tao. And you can go on and on and on, but there's a sense of the connection with the true king, with a just intent for the cosmic order. So that begins, and so hence the concern to be able to make the land flourish so that people have food and they have plenty. So the image of abundance that is associated. Remember when the Grail came in, it's almost like a cornucopia. The sense of abundance begins to pour forth resources, provisions. As this capacity integrates in a more mature way, there is an increasing capacity for centering and calmness. Many people who meditate in a lotus position, seeking the deep true center, do not realize that they are doing in what might be seen in effect as a royal yoga, a capacity to sit in the throne at the center of the world, which is a still point amongst the four quarters of the turning world. So, if you are a man with some adequate connection to this royal center, you will not have an intense anxiety disorder. So when you see somebody with runaway anxiety, you know how alienated they are from this part of personality. But as this capacity matures, then a moral flourishing results, and this is the capacity for inclusive caring, The cold and heartless triage. You know triage? Triage is when you're going to decide who you're going to leave out. And you're not going to care about the one that cannot clamor for what they need. This is the story in the Christian myth, the reference to the Good Shepherd. Because the story of the Good Shepherd in the Gospels is a reference to a messianic royal virtue. And that is, there may be 99 sheep already in the fold, but the Good Shepherd is aware that one is missing and will put forceful resources to work in finding that one who might be lost. So the capacity for inclusive caring is at the heart, and then flourishing with that is a strength-based power to bless. So at the flourishing of this royal capacity in the female or the male soul is the capacity to bless others and bless the world in the stewardship of the power that this person has. And you can tell when the royal sector is not matured by the absence of efforts to bless.
Ooh, by the absence of the essence or the efforts to bless. Now, look at us today. All of our relationships are about getting. The reason why you're so focused on getting is because you're wounded. Wounds have demands. Do you see? The inner child is saying, feed me, feed me, feed me. First off, the inner child is the gift. But because it modeled a broken pattern, do you see? Right? We haven't gone in to nurture the inner child the way it was supposed to be nurtured. Guess what? You have the agency to do it. The intrapersonal relationship. He's talking about, you hear him speaking in these metaphysical ways, right? These philosophical ways. That was Robert Moore. You hear him talking in these cryptic kind of ways. But what he's saying is, using metaphor, is to say, you are the Savior, the self-Savior. Not to disrespect Christ. Christ is your personal Savior, but you have work to do with regards to the work of saving you. Do you understand? Not anybody else. Hell, Christ ain't gonna let you throw it off on him either. Christ is gonna say, I've endowed you with the ability to heal you, to lead you. Do you understand? To love on you in a way that sets the tone for how everyone else will love on you. Even in the event that your primary caregiver didn't love on you that way. I've invested in you the power to do it for you, which is a hallmark, a calling card, a beacon to all others who are and are not ready to love you. I don't know if do you understand? We've got relationships reversed. They got to do it. They got to show up. And then they're on probation. They're on wound probation. We got to see how long this gonna last, because the last one was good for the first year and a half, for the first 2 years, and then we hit a bump and then we never recovered. Do you understand? We got callers on the line. Let's get them in here. John from Mountain View, get up in here. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
How do you preview a wound expecting it to not be there?
Ooh, keep going. Go Pastor John.
Wait. First and foremost, let me try and address this in the sense of, You said something about growing your beard, right?
Uh-oh. Yeah, go ahead. I'm with you. Come on.
I mean, but for you to grow the beard, you gotta leave it alone.
Okay, I hear you, John. Leave the beard out of it. No, I'm just playing. Go ahead,
No,
John.
sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Because again, in the process of learning anything that goes on in this life, you have to go through the steps.
That's right. That's right. I agree.
So for you to choose your preemptive measure that you know you're going to be embarrassed by, and you're telling yourself beforehand, I'm not going through that, lies.
Where are the keys? Where are the organs?
Somebody close the door.
Close the door. Somebody close. Ushers.
Close the door.
Close the door.
The whole point of life is yes, you're in the fishbowl. You're being looked at.
Don't go nowhere. No, don't go nowhere. Okay, stay with the fishbowl. Oh, stay with the fishbowl. When we come forward, more from the Big Island.
Every day. Yesterday.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Black New York Attorney General Letitia James is suing to stop the Trump administration from dismantling the Health and Human Services Department.
And since taking office, this administration has fired scientists, closed labs,